I mean, soon you'll have it too, but probably have shoulders.
All right, awesome. So I'm here with my good friend Mark. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to join me.
Yes, man. Glad to be on here. Yeah, so looking back on the questions you just sent me, and pretty much life before bodybuilding. Before I got into bodybuilding, I was actually doing some fire courses. So I did wildland courses at Bakersfield College, and then I got involved with the Bureau of Land Management, Kern Valley Hot Shots for one summer season. That was the best experience I ever had in my early 20s. I did my personal training certification up in Dublin, California through MBTI with my instructor, Chris Hitchko. After that, I decided to move back into Bakersfield to kind of come back to where my roots were, where I knew everybody knew me, you know, the whole smorgasbord.
Right.
And then dove into the training world following after that, which led into me getting involved with some of the medical clients that I'm currently training still today. But then it was that point that I decided to get into my first bodybuilding competition.
Okay.
Yeah.
So basically, your life before bodybuilding is you were studying stuff for like firefighting related type stuff.
Yeah, fire technology.
And then after that, I led you into like personal training. And then from there, you got into bodybuilding.
Yeah.
But you always had like a sports background.
Yeah. I did rugby for almost 3 years, a part of doing some 7-on-7 tournaments with the Kern rugby team here, and then before that I even did like a lot of CrossFit competitions, like in small gyms. I got involved with powerlifting. I did some Olympic weightlifting before I got into bodybuilding. So basically, those sports, which they are, kind of helped formulate it to where my current physique was at the time.
Okay.
But it turned into the foundation to where now, when I met my coach 5 years ago, he sculpted me into where I am today.
So what was that wow moment that you said, okay, like I want to do bodybuilding, like this is for me?
Yeah, it was mostly seeing the beauty and the artistic look. You know, it's like, again, they're athletes too, but then again, you're also performing. You're showing off the goals that you started off with, which anyone can start from 12 weeks to 16, all the way out to a year, depending on what your body does and how you approach it, you know, especially the diets. And what I was mostly astonished by was the dedication to it. The wow that I experienced for myself.
Okay.
I could see that from somebody standing in an audience but looking up to that crowd going like, wow, that guy looks really good. But then you look at yourself, you know, either you're a man or woman, you look at yourself now, you're going like, holy crap, now that's me. I does not look like me. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Okay, so now what's your favorite part about bodybuilding?
It's the self journey, I feel, especially this year. This year, especially with the pandemic of the virus, political stuff coming around the corner. Like, there's so much stress factors that contributes to your prep, because it can affect your mentality, it can affect the way you eat, it can affect the way you work, how you approach your workouts. The way I looked at it is that I started back in February. I was going to prep for the West Coast Classic in June, but then it got postponed and it got rescheduled for October 11th. So it came down to it like, okay, I either go balls deep, prep for the longest prep season of my life and attempt that, or I just say, just forget it, we'll just rebound and we'll just continue on for the next year, because we don't know if shows are going to go on or not.
Right.
But now we're seeing they are coming out. They're still performing. They're taking proper guidelines, to make sure the athletes stay safe. And, it's still going to be possible. So the fact that I have more time is where it made a big difference. Again, this is the longest prep I've ever done.
Yes.
Everything's set in stone. At this point now, it's just a matter of what we like to call frosting, meaning that we're just cruising through, staying on point, maybe make a few little tweaks on the diet, but keep on what we're doing for the regimen of workout, the diets, the supplementations that I'm using, and being mindful, getting my sleep in, which is huge.
Yeah, sleep
is huge.
Underrated.
It is underrated these days, yes. Because I try to get 7-8 hours of sleep, and thankfully with just the jobs that I have now, my training and working at the Italian restaurant as a busser, it makes a big difference. So, but other than that, it's about, again, you find more about yourself in the self-journey process. You get to feel feel, I guess you sense more maturity. You get to find out more about yourself, how you handle situations, life outside the gym and life inside the gym, aka prepping for a CrossFit comp, Olympic lifting, powerlifting, a bodybuilding show. Doesn't matter. You can train for a Spartan race for all I care. It's a matter of how do you approach it and how do you attack it. Do you let it knock you down, or do you just keep up and you not get down? You know.
Okay, so now what's your least favorite part about bodybuilding?
As everyone would say, it would be mostly cardio. on my 30-minute days, I usually do a walk on the incline treadmill, which honestly I like that a lot because it helps me with my lactic acid buildup in my calves, which also gets my heart regulation to calm down a little bit. So it's good for that. It's the 55-minute days, like today, for example, is my low carb day, cardio day only, which is 55 minutes. I mean, it's come to the point where there's nothing I have least favorite about bodybuilding, because over the last 5 years, I've grown to love it. Before it was a diet. I just hated being on a strict diet. It wasn't a strict diet, it was very flexible, but you drive by In-N-Out. You want a 4x4 with grilled onions on it, and you just feel your mouth watery. I'm like, nope, I can't do that. So,
okay, now who would you say your favorite bodybuilders are?
Inspired me, this is the wow factor, is Lee Labrada and Muhammad Maki. They were, and my coach can say the same thing too, they were the definition of classic bodybuilding and beautiful classic posers. Beautiful posing routines that were just so majestic, so smooth. You were really watching a ballerina dance on the stage. And they were both super creative. But I remember watching all Lee Labrada's Olympia contending shows that he did for his posing routines, and every time it just got better and better.
Yeah.
And he striked those poses exactly the way he wanted it, and it showed off his strengths. Even some weaknesses that he had, you couldn't even tell. But they are the ideal goal factor that my coach and I are trying to accomplish, is to have that classic structure of those legendary bodybuilders into the classic physique category.
Tips for beginners, like let's say somebody wanted to, a beginner bodybuilder like me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we talked about this back when you did the photo shoot with me, and honestly, it's a matter of just starting off steady. We need you to feel, obviously assess where your weaknesses are. Again, it's about body composition and looking at body posture. With that being said, you have to just really test out the macros. Again, we need to assess okay, how many meals are you really getting? Let's start off slow with 4. Obviously, that's the least requirement, to the max of maybe 6 or 7. It really depends on your metabolism.
Yeah.
But I say the max would probably be 6, but it's all about, again, spacing out to what matches with your outside schedule is, with your schooling, your freelance job, everything. And then obviously maximizing your workout regimens. If you're doing 3 days a week, then I had to converse it down to where you're doing certain muscle groups for 2 days a week. Whereas I'm doing 5 days a week, but I'm hitting certain muscle groups 2 times a week because that is my weak areas. And I need to hit those hard in order to meet the requirements of what the judges are looking for, Other than that, it's just trial and error, and it's a matter of really knowing patience. There's a lot of people that just get so impatient on, I want it now. They want to be the hare instead of the tortoise, with the tortoise always is going to win, because that's what the outcome is. It took me 5 years to get to where I'm at with my physique, and trust me, there was a few bumps and bruises along the way.
Yeah.
But it's all about the mentality mindset.
Yeah. Okay. Now walk me through your first competition.
So, and then it really came down to it was the posing, and that's where I was struggling with a lot. I was so awkward. I was just like a rusty robot that didn't know what to do. So for the life of me, I cannot remember his name, but he recently passed away a couple years ago, if not more. He introduced me to the bodybuilding posing, and he gave me a good guidance. And then I had Andrew Jones, who's otherwise known as the Fever, from the Brutes here in Bakersfield, that helped me out with my posing routine. And so he gave me a little guidance on that, which came out very authentic. It was very raw, kind of like what bodybuilding was supposed to be, showing the structure of your body in different forms of the posing, but also in good transitions. So I took first in novice, which is only me and one other guy. It was fine. The men's open bodybuilding, which was more competitive, there was a teen who was just last day was a team bodybuilder, and this kid was just peeled, shredded. I cannot remember his name for the life of me, but then I ended up taking third place out of the other two gentlemen. And it was good. It was a eye-opening experience, and then it was after that show, I wanted to take it to the next level, and then I asked my friend Larry if he knows any like professional coach in bodybuilding that will be willing to take me on as a client / athlete or whatever the case is, and that's where I was introduced to Eric Rosen, and it's been a story ever since.
Do you plan on getting your pro card?
I am still planning on getting my pro card. The goal right now is to get through the West Coast Classic, definitely nationally qualified. And if we do nationally qualify, we're going to attempt again for the USAs that will be held in Los Angeles this year through Muscle Contest, I believe on December 5th or one of the weekends of that. So it's been 2 years since I've done it, and last time I did it, I was a light heavyweight bodybuilder at 189, and I took 13th out of 26 or 27 guys at that show. So that was an amazing experience for myself. But I'm hoping to do this now in class physique. So we'll see. It's just, again, it's a journey process, and you know, some days you come up strong, and some days it's just not in the cards for you. Do I stop? No. I just try again the next year. You know, that's just the way it is. Take it from me for doing it for 5 years.
I know bodybuilding is like a 24/7 thing, but what do you do just kind of like detox to get your mind off it?
What I like to do is that, you know, I find that working at Luigi's, like, it's my form of, I guess, outside of thinking away from bodybuilding, because I'm around with so many people throughout the community of Bakersfield. I guess the cooler thing is, as you already know, this is how you and I met, was the fact that I have my Hire Hero SoCal gig, which is me dressed up as Superman along with my other colleagues from other businesses, but I have 2 actual members are part of my business. So that's my way of detoxing from bodybuilding, but you know, bodybuilding is a 24/7 lifestyle. You know, you do get away from the sacrificing of being not going out to so many social gatherings with your friends where there's a lot of liquor, a lot of drinks, a lot of junk food. You can still go out there and do it, but at the same time, it's like, look, it's been a long day for me.
Yeah.
I'm tired. I want my post-meal workout. I'm taking my ZMA pills. I'm clocking out because I got a 4:30 a.m. client the next day. And you know, after I'm done with shows, like, yeah, I will have my luxury to go out and join in the festivities, which is human. And a lot of my friends have finally kind of gotten used to that.
Yeah.
Before, of course, they're gonna harass you and then give you the hardest time. And I just brush it off, and I'm like, whatever. I mean, where I'm looking at it, I look better than what you are right now. I got a pack, you got a keg, so there's a difference.
Well, yeah, that's all the questions I have for you, Mark. Thank you so much for joining me.
Yeah, brother. Looking forward to the next time we do this.
All right.